How are you all? After playing games, I think you are all refreshed again. So, I'm Saurabh Mishra, and I'm an IT geek, developer, trainer, animator, and I'm a passionate blogger. I'm blogging for C# Corner, Code Project, and many websites. And today I'm going to talk about HighCharts and AngularJS using Web API. So, how many you know already AngularJS and Web API? Okay. So those people who don't have idea about AngularJS and Web API, please catch me after this session. So I will tell you something good things about the AngularJS basics and Web API basics. So this demo will be helpful for you. So in this demo I am going to talk about HighCharts. So if I am going to start this demo, first I want to talk about what is charts, why we creating charts. So we are creating charts because we want to show the growth, your growth of how you are growing or how you are decreasing. That's why we creating charts. So HighCharts is one of the tool. At the time of development, you can choose this. This is a kind of JavaScript library. And with the use of this JavaScript library, you can use this JavaScript library and you can achieve your goals. So before I am going to start this session, this is something about me. So I am MVP, Most Valuable Professional. I am C# Founder MVP, Code Project MVP. This is my Twitter handle. You can catch me here, Saurabh_Mishra1. So whenever I am writing any new blogs, so you can catch my blogs here. And recently I launched one new YouTube channel, which is Saurabh Mishra Notes. So in this channel you will get new updates on technologies like AngularJS, Web API, and your Microsoft technologies on .NET Core. So all the latest technologies will come free of cost on your YouTube channel. So you just need to subscribe this channel. Automatically you will get mails on your Gmail account whenever I am uploading new videos. And I am also in Instagram. So Saurabh Mishra Notes is my Instagram name. And you can also send me a mail if you have any question regarding any of my blog or about this session also. So this is my mail ID, Saurabh_Mishra1 at hotmail.com. You can just send me mail, I will try to answer your queries. So we are all developers, and at the development time, suppose you are guys sitting at the client call, and one day your client is saying, I want a requirement kind of thing like next 15 days I have an annual general meeting, and in the annual general meeting I want to show my company sales graph to all the stakeholders, my shareholders, and all the peoples who are connecting with us. I want to show everything. So the graph should be interactive, it should be rich UI, it should be presentable. I want all these kind of requirements, and it should be responsive kind of thing. So people can use their mobiles or their laptop or their kind of tablets, so they can show our company growth very easily. So HighChart is the kind of thing which will help you to achieve all these kind of goals. So what are HighCharts? So HighCharts is a new rich JavaScript based chart library. With the use of HighCharts, you can create the interactive charts as per your requirement. You all know CDN. So this is the CDN for HighCharts. Code.highcharts.com, highcharts.js. So you have to use this CDN in your HTML file. And after that, if you use this CDN, after that, automatically this will connect to your HighCharts and all these things. So in the later on the session, you will see the use of this script, how we can use all these things. So before I am going to start, so this is the website of highcharts.com, and in this website you can get your highcharts.js. If you want to download HighCharts, you don't want to use CDN, you can download it from here,
And if you want to buy a licensing, if you want to go for kind of commercial basis uses, so you have to buy this license. It's not free, but if you want to use for learning basis or just for showing off some things, so you can use this HighCharts from this website. So this, the website is highcharts.com, and in the product menu you can download all the charts and all these things. So, and this is the demo which I created with the use of HighCharts. You can see here, this is a pretty simple example of HighCharts. Here you can see there is a drop-down list, and this is the chart is showing for monthly examination summary of St. Thomas School. Here you can see we have a subject, here we have a student, and basis of whatever marks he obtained into the exams, we are showing the graph. So this is a pretty simple example, and I told you at the start your client requirement is he wants a presentable kind of thing. So once you present something, it is showing the animation form. So this is interactive, this is presentable, this is rich UI kind of thing. These are the catchy words in our industry nowadays. Our clients' requirements are come like this. So how you can achieve all these things? But before, I want to talk about relate these things to our real life. Once upon a time we are students, so that time we have a subject of mathematics, and in the subject of mathematics we have one chapter was statistics. And in the statistics subject, once we are on the examination hall, our teacher will provide us one graph paper. And at the graph paper, what you create? You just read your question, like you have to create a graph for something cricket kind of thing, like you have 3 players and who are playing on the test matches, like he prepare 200 runs in this test and this player runs this kind of runs. And what you do is start. First, you think what kind of graph you want to create. This is your first step. Next step, what do you think? You create 2 lines, x-axis and y-axis. These are the second step. And in the third step, you type the title on it, why we are creating this graph. And in the next step, you play with data. Like if a test cricketer, like he is playing 200, in the next match he's on 100, in the third match he's earning 300. So you are drawing like this. So you created the graph, and after that you show the legends. Legend will show you the kind of thing like this color for this particular player, this color is for particular player. So only these things you create a graph. Like one thing is your x-axis, y-axis, second thing your data, third thing your title, and last not the least your legends. So these are the basic things to draw any graph. It should be on paper or it's on a development scenario. So these are the things required to develop any graph. So now I am going to talk about some practicals. So you can see here, this is a pretty cool, simple application which is developed in Web API and AngularJS. And here I used you can see here we have a database, and in the database we have only one DB. It's a student DB. In the student DB you have a student master table, and in the student master table you can see here we have a student ID, a student name, and here we have subjects, and each particular row is defining this particular student has earned this kind of marks. Now what I have done here, I have used here ADO.NET entity model, and in the ADO.NET entity model what I have created here, I use DB first approach because my database is already created, and in my database I just want to use only one table. So this is my student master table, and here you can see all the columns which are required for this graph. And if I am talking about this demo, so this demo is dedicated between 3 steps. First step is I want to populate this particular drop-down list. I want the list of a student. I want to populate this drop-down list. After that, if user select any student, so I will fire a change event. After firing the change event, my next step is whatever student ID he has selected, we have to show the chart basis of selected ID. So now how we will do all these things? So for this, my first step is I want to bind my drop-down list. In the drop-down list, if I'm talking about the basic of drop-down list, you need in any drop-down list, you need text and ID. Text is you can see here we have a text like Ram, Mohan, whatever, and ID is of student particular ID. These two things are required for any drop-down list. So for this, I have created here simple student model class, and in the student model class here I have created only two properties, student ID and student name. So ID of a student will comes into student ID and name of a student will come into the student name. These are the two properties I am going to use. And I created here, as I told you, I am creating here a student entity. This is my EDMX model. So in the EDMX model, you can see here, this is my entity name, student DB entities. So what I am going to do, I am going to create the object of this student DB entities, and after that, I am calling this student entity into my controller. And this is not a normal MVC controller, this is a web API controller. Why I created web API controller? Because in future, if I want to give my API to my client or anybody else, so I can give in a separate project. So for this, you can see here we have a student DB entities, and here this is the object of my student entity. And after that, here I have created one method, get students. And in the get student method, you can see here I have my student entity object, and student masters is my table name. You can see this is my student master table name. I am using here DB first approach, so directly everything is coming. And after that, student model is my class where I have created two properties of student ID and student name. So I am binding this ID and name into this student ID and student name, and in the form of list, this is storing into my query, and I am going to return this thing. So my first method is completed. Now my duty is to check this particular method is running or not properly. So for this, what I am going to do, I am going to run the instance of my web API. So you can see here, I am using here API controller, student is my controller and get student is my method. So you can see all my data are coming properly. These are the 4 records you saw in my database, and these are the 4 records I am getting in my schema. Now I am going to use this schema into my Angular code, because I will send with the use of Angular code one request to my web API, and after that in the response time I want to get these data. And you can see here I am not getting all subjects fields, I am getting only the fields of whichever I required, only ID and name I am getting, because I want to populate these things into my drop down list. So you can see here I have a script.js. So in the script.js we have module called Angular module. So here I am using only one module, one controller, and you can see here I have used two services, $scope and $HTTP. $HTTP why I am using, because I want to send a request and I want to get a response. So $HTTP.get will send this particular URL. I will send this particular URL as a request, and in the response.data, you can see I am using a scope model of my students. So all the list of students will store into my students. So after I am getting this student, all the information into my students model, I want to populate this into my drop-down list. So if I am talking about this index.html, you can see here I am using these 3 CDNs. One is AngularJS. So here I am using example of Angular 1 because most of the people already understand this AngularJS 1.0, and here I am using HighChart CDN, and script.js I connecting because I written this code in script.js. So you can see here in the index.html, you just see this particular code. So for binding any drop-down list, you require 2 things. One is an ng option, and next thing is ng model. So as I told you, we have one scope is students. So what I am going to do is, in the scope of students, I am using this. After that I am using here for loop, and in the for, I am using this student name and student ID for the populating things. As you already know, we created one model where I created two properties, student ID and student name. So that's why I am using the same name for this. And I use here ng model. Why I use here ng model? Once user has selected any student from the drop down list, I want the selected data, what data he has selected. That's why I use here ng model. So that is the reason you can see in the drop down this particular data. And if you see into my bat rank, in the bat rank you can see I have this student object, and in the student object you can see I have all the 4 records in the form of my student ID and student name, and the same name I use as a property in my class. Now the next step, what is my duty? My duty is, if my user has selected any student, it will fire one change event, and after the change event our main feature will start of high charts. So what I have done is, here I have used this ng change, and in the ng change I have written one method is student change, and here I am passing this student ID which I have demonstrated in my ng model. So now let's move to again our script.js, but before we have to write one method in our web API. So in a web API you can see here I have one more method which get student results, and in the get student results I am passing this parameter as a student ID, and in the student ID you can see here again I am using a student master, and I use where clause, and I am passing this particular parameter into this particular query, and I am getting the particular row in query model. After that, in the next step what I am going to do, I am going to use this script.js. As I told you, we are using student change method. So here we have student change method, and we created this particular get student results method, and this get student results method we have this parameter as a student ID, and in the response what I am going to do, I am going to use this student marks model. So all the data of the student marks basis of student ID will store here. Now the main concept is the start. We are coming here to learn highcharts.js. So our mission is, once user selected from the drop down and after change event will happen, immediately we want to show the high charts. We want to show the chart. So if I'm talking about the properties of my high chart, so highchart.chart, high charts is the main class and chart is the one of my method. So we will talk about this chart container later because this is related to your index.html. So here I am using chart. So as I told you before, when we are students, so when we are trying to develop any graph in our graph paper, so first we think what kind of graph we want to create. So this is the place where you can define your type. Currently in the demo you are showing the bar graph. If you want to change anything, you have to just type here the name of graph, whatever graph you want to see. Like if you want line graph, you just put here line and you just run this. This is the line graph. You just select any student, basis of his marks, your line graph is coming. If you want to change again, you have to just change here. If you want column kind of graph, this is the column graph. So these are the properties which are required for creating any graph. Now in the next step of our high chart is, you can see here I have used here title and subtitle. These are not mandatory kind of thing, but if you want to show, you can. So in the title you have a text property, in subtitles you have text property. So as you can see, this is my title and this is your subtitle. So if you want, you can. The next main thing is x-axis and y-axis. So as I told you, in the x-axis, whatever information you want to define, this is not a static kind of thing, or if you want to show anything else information, you can show here in the categories form. If you want to show any other titles kind of thing, you can show here. This is the main catch of series, because whatever data you are getting here, this is coming in the form of this. So first thing, we are going to understand this particular name. So in the demo, you can see here, once I am going to mouse over on any graph, I can see the name of my student, marks of my student, and the subject of that particular student. So the name which you see here, this is particular name. So if I'm talking about my batch rank, so you can see here, I am getting student marks because I have selected student of Ram. So that's why in the batch rank it is coming name as Ram, and these are the subjects. So in the name part, I am using scope, and after that, this is my first index, and after that I am using properties as name. Next thing is data. So the data is the main thing which is coming in the form of graph. So you can see here I am using here student marks, after that index, and I am using all these things, Hindi, Maths, English, Science. So you can see here in the data I am using in a form of graph, in an array, and after that I am using passing all the values which are coming from my DB. So this is the part of my series section. Next thing is legend. You can see here I have a legend, which is legend called, this is called the legend. So these are some settings of my legend. If I want to show this legend in the left hand side, I can put here left. It's coming on left. If I want to show this in bottom as per my client requirement, it's coming from bottom. And this is the kind of thing of your border width. If you want to increase or decrease your border width, you can. So if I'm talking about the summarization of this high charts, but before I want to talk about this chart container. As I told you, I will tell you before. So chart container is the kind of thing which I am going to use in index.html. So if you see in the index.html, I used here div ID. So in this div, what I want to show, in the particular this div, I want to show my graph. That's why I have created here one div. And you can see here my this ID and this particular chart ID is same. If I'm going to change this with like high charts demo, so I have to change in ID also. So what is the meaning of this ID? This is the place where I want my chart. That's why I am defining here ID. And this is the place where you have to define your particular highcharts.chart, where you have to define where all your data will comes. And that is the reason once you run this particular thing, you are getting your response in the form of chart. So this was about the charts, and we use a real life example of our database. We use here AngularJS Web API. So I hope if you have any questions, so please ask me now. Yes, sir.
Suppose I want to display two student information together.
Yeah.
And I can see that index here. How are you doing the two index?
You want to show two kind of.
Suppose RAM and one to this and I want to display both student information together.
In one graph. Yeah. So for this kind of thing, here we have this particular data, as I told you in the series section. So in the series section, in the data part, this part, you have to define, you have to get the collection of two students, and you have to define after this particular area, after that you have to again pass one more information of your collection. Here I used only one collection, that's why you are watching only one thing. Yes, sir. Yeah. You want from database? Yes, you can. For this, you have to get two collections kind of thing. So for that, you saw in batch rank, I showed you. So you have to get one more collection of your these subjects. So after that, you have to populate. I show you in the form of data. So you have again $scope, your collection name, and then you can pass here returns. It's up to you. Only the creating a high chart, these are the properties which are required. After that, you can play as per your requirement.
Then high chart also, suppose high chart, how can I show data in high chart?
Yeah, you have to change the value here. Area if you want. Yeah, if you want to show area also, you can type here area. If you want to show in line, you can yes sir.
So
Are you saying category can be dynamic?
Yeah.
Can be dynamic.
So dynamic means it should be coming from the database.
Yeah. So currently in the English analysis if there is a one subject disagreeing or something, it can be dynamic.
Yeah. Because at the time of your collection, right now you are getting four rows. Now after that, if you are using history and